anime fans will really watch a show called Orb on the movements of the Earth, and then act surprised when the episode asks, "Would you die for a math problem?" Like, bro, I came here for celestial philosophy, not a spiritual audit of my cowardice. Rafal looked at the sky one time and said, "My whole life is about to become illegal." Meanwhile, some of us cannot even tell the group chat, "Actually, I disagree," without needing a snack, a nap, and emotional support ramen. But that is why this anime hits so hard. Orb is not just about whether the earth moves. It is about what happens when your soul moves before your life is ready for the consequences. It is about knowing the truth, feeling the truth, seeing the proof, and still freezing because you know truth has a bill attached to it. So in this video, we are going to talk about the quiet war inside thoughtful rebels, the part of you that knows what needs to be said, the part of you that knows what needs to change, the part of you that keeps choosing silence because punishment, rejection, loss, and disappointment feel more real than freedom. Stay with me because by the end of this, we are not just admiring Rafal, Oczy, Badeni, Jolenta, and Draka. We are going to use them as a mirror and build 5 truth rules for becoming the person who can finally speak when it costs something. This is Michael Yearby, your growth strategist, and you're locked in with From Anime to Action, the podcast where we watch the scenes, learn the lessons, and execute. And before we go deep, if you need music that feels like anime ambition got put into hip-hop form, check out Rashad Oliver's anime-fused music. The link is in the description below. It is for the days when your motivation is not dead. It is just face down like a defeated side character waiting for the opening theme to kick in. Now, Orb is dangerous because it understands something most motivational content avoids. Truth is not always cute. Truth is not always profitable. Truth will not always get you a standing ovation. Sometimes truth gets you questioned. Sometimes it gets you isolated. Sometimes it gets your name dragged through rooms you are not even in. And sometimes, like in Orb, truth gets labeled heresy by people who are more committed to control than reality. Rafal is not just a smart kid. He is the person who discovers that being gifted is not the same as being free. Everybody around him has a script for his life. Study the safe thing. Say the safe words. Become impressive inside the approved box. That is a whole modern mood. Go to school, get the job, look grateful, smile in the photo, do not disturb the system, and please keep your existential crisis under professional lighting. Then the sky becomes a problem. Hubert opens the door to a forbidden possibility, and suddenly Rafal has to choose between the version of himself that survives and the version of himself that is true. That is the moment the truth gets expensive. Not because the truth changed, but because Rafal changed. Once you see something clearly, pretending not to see it becomes a form of self-betrayal. That is where a lot of us live. You know the relationship is unhealthy, but you stay quiet because leaving would cost comfort. You know the workplace issue is real, but you stay quiet because speaking might cost reputation. You know your family dynamic is broken, but you stay quiet because telling the truth might make you the villain at Thanksgiving. You know your dream is real, but you stay quiet because if you say it out loud, now you can fail publicly. And let me confess something. I have had moments where I knew the truth and tried to negotiate with it like it was a car salesman. I would say, can we speak this truth later? Can we make this conviction more convenient? Can we wait until nobody is mad? Nobody is affected, and all consequences have been gently removed from the packaging. But that is not conviction. That is fear wearing a blazer. The painful truth is this: silence feels safe because it delays the bill. It does not cancel it. Silence just lets interest build. Every time you do not say what matters, a small part of you learns that your peace is less important than other people's comfort. Every time you hide your conviction, your identity starts renting space from fear.
That is why Orb feels so brutal and beautiful. The characters are not fearless. They are terrified people who decide that fear is not qualified to be their god. Oczy is afraid of looking at the sky. Badeni is arrogant, wounded, brilliant, and messy. Jolenta is trapped in a world that wants her intellect, but not her full personhood. Piast spends his life committed to a model, but still carries the dignity to care about truth. Draka is calculating, money-focused, survival-minded, and still becomes part of a chain bigger than herself. None of them are clean little motivational posters. They are human. That is what makes the lesson stronger. Conviction does not require you to be pure. It requires you to stop lying about what you know. So here are 5 truth rules from Orb for people who know the truth but fear the cost. Rule 1. Name the cost before fear exaggerates it. Fear is a terrible accountant. It will take one awkward conversation and turn it into homelessness, exile, public shame, and your entire bloodline changing their last name. Before you speak, write down the real cost. What could happen? What is likely to happen? What support do you need? What boundary protects you? Mature conviction is not reckless. It is clear-eyed. Rule 2. Separate punishment from consequence. A consequence is what happens because reality responds. Punishment is what controlling people use to train your silence. In Orb, the system calls truth dangerous because truth threatens control. In real life, people may call you dramatic, difficult, disrespectful, too emotional, too cold, too masculine, too feminine, too much, not enough, and somehow all of that before lunch. Do not confuse their discomfort with your wrongdoing. Rule 3. Build a truth chain. Rafal does not carry the whole revolution alone. That is the point. One person preserves a fragment. Another person studies it. Another person protects it. Another person publishes it. You do not need to win the entire war in one speech. You need to take the next faithful step. Tell one safe person. Write the idea down. Gather the proof. Practice the sentence. Move the truth one link forward. Rule 4. Do not worship being understood. This one hurts. Some of you are not afraid of truth. You are afraid of being misunderstood after telling it. You want to speak so perfectly that nobody can twist it, mock it, punish it, or weaponize it. I love you, but that world does not exist. Even the sky can be misread by people committed to staring at the floor. Your job is not to control every interpretation. Your job is to speak with integrity and act with discipline. Rule 5. Let truth upgrade your identity before it upgrades your life. This is the identity shift. You are not becoming loud. You are becoming aligned. You are not becoming rebellious for attention. You are becoming obedient to what is real. The goal is not to be the person who always wins the argument. The goal is to become the person who no longer abandons themselves to keep fake peace alive. And this is why I wrote The Anime Mindset, because anime gives us a language for transformation that regular self-help sometimes makes too sterile. We can look at characters like Rafal, Tanjiro, Thorfinn, Light, Eren, and Lelouch and ask, what is this story teaching me about discipline, consequence, leadership, pain, and purpose? The Anime Mindset helps you turn that passion into real-world power. The link is in the description below. Now, I know the objection. Michael, speaking truth can destroy things. Yes, it can. That is why this is not a video about being reckless. This is not permission to use honesty like a chair in a wrestling match. Some people say, I am just telling the truth, when really they are emotionally drop-kicking everybody in the room because they never learned timing, humility, or self-control. Truth without wisdom becomes a weapon. Wisdom without truth becomes cowardice.
You need both. Rafal's conviction is powerful because he is not chasing clout. Badeni's brilliance matters because it becomes tied to something beyond ego. Jolenta's courage matters because she keeps choosing the work even when the world keeps trying to shrink her. Draka's arc matters because survival alone is not the same as purpose. So no, do not run into your office tomorrow yelling, "The earth moves, and so does my resignation," unless you have a plan, savings, and at least one emotionally stable friend. But do stop pretending you do not know what you know. Stop acting like confusion is the problem when fear is the real villain. Some of you are not stuck because you lack clarity. You are stuck because clarity showed up with a price tag and you quietly put it back on the shelf. Here is the quote I want you to take with you. If the truth only matters when it is cheap, it is not conviction, it is preference. That is the line. That is the mirror. That is the orb lesson. Conviction costs something, but the cost of never living by conviction is worse. Because if you keep trading truth for comfort, eventually you will have comfort, approval, access, and a life that feels like it belongs to somebody else. And I do not want that for you. I want you to become the kind of person who can tell the truth with grace, the kind of person who can carry consequences without turning bitter, the kind of person who can be misunderstood without becoming fake, the kind of person who can say, "I would rather lose the performance than lose myself." So let us recap. Name the cost before fear exaggerates it. Separate punishment from consequence. Build a truth chain. Do not worship being understood. Let truth upgrade your identity before it upgrades your life. That is how you move from silent believer to convicted builder. That is how you stop being someone who knows the truth in private and start becoming someone who can live it in public. Not perfectly, not loudly, not foolishly, but faithfully. And since this is the end of this series, your next move is simple. Take the Stuck Pattern Scorecard. It is a 2-minute assessment that shows which hidden emotional pattern is blocking your next level. Hesitation, performance, control, drift, unworthiness, or fear of consequences. If this video hit you in the chest, do not just nod and go watch 10 more videos while your life stays untouched. Take the assessment, grab your result, make the next move. The link is in the description below. Next up, we are moving into Mindset Breakdown, and I want you to grab the free booklet so you are ready for the next anime series. Because we are not just watching characters risk everything for truth, we are learning how to become people who can carry truth without folding. Watch the next video on the channel, and I will see you in the next breakdown.